starts here. There's nothing in the sky before it. It comes, it starts, it stops. It starts, it stops. And it goes, and the plane right now is going over the mountain. But if you look at this thing, like it is, I mean, if that, I don't know, words just fail me. You see those brakes? Okay, this is not Photoshop, okay? This is, there's nothing else in the sky behind it at all. I mean, it's like we have clear skies, no jets, you know, and there's a jet up here, just has normal persistence contrail that's just barely going. But look at this thing, how wide it is and how it starts and stops. There, then it's got to be some external sprayer. And when you look at how suddenly this thing starts, I mean, if that's not proof, I mean, I don't know what is. So this is taken in Utah. It is Thursday. See, it's Thursday, October 24th at 8:23 a.m. and the plane went over the mountain about 2 minutes ago. Look, if you're looking for definitive proof, here's some definitive proof right now. Okay, there you go. There's chemtrails for you. Okay, clear blue sky, a little bit of morning haze. It's 8:23 a.m. So there's another kind of thicker contrail down here. I'm calling them contrails. I'm trying to be objective here. But then up here in the sky, and I don't know if we're going to get a good focus on it, but right here there are two more jets flying in the sky, which looks like fairly normal persistence. Now this one up here does have, it is kind of spotted, but that is, anyway, the thing is ridiculous. I don't know, I want someone to explain this to me, because I mean, if you need something to wake you up, if you're not, look at that, is that nuts? That's crazy. Hey YouTubers, it is now 11:23, so it's 3 hours later, Thursday, October 24th, 2013. So I just want to show you an update on these clouds. So originally they were approximately right there in the sky, and so now if you look over here, that same contrail now curves over here, around there and that way. So right here you can see the short segment. So originally where the plane went this way, so now the contrail, so this is basically the last point of it. So it went this way, there's a break, and then it goes over the mountains. There's another one going, and that sucker is spraying. And it's almost going in the exact opposite direction that the one this morning was going, only it's more southern, but essentially going parallel. Hey YouTubers, this is somewhat of a postscript to my chemtrail video I just shot a couple days ago. I just want to talk about a couple of things. Things I want you to consider this. First of all, is when I shot that video, that basically the whole sky was clear, including that there was no other parts to where that contrail was. So that contrail did not exist until those first of those three segments I was filming. So that it wasn't as if that wherever the jet came from, that it wasn't leaving any sort of trail before. And then those three sections that did persist, you know, for those few minutes I shot my video, they were still there 3 hours later, and I'm sure that they were there longer in the day too. Now what that makes me think is that, first of all, now if it would have just gone from 0 persistence to 100% persistence, like is how I saw, is you could explain that with, you know, oh, maybe it, you know, it hit a cold front or a warm front or something like that. But then that doesn't explain, that theory doesn't work with the two gaps in the middle. And that
And then, what also doesn't explain that is that the whole warm front, cold front thing is that if you looked at the weather patterns that day, that that everything was oriented northward, and so later on when I shot it, the whole contrail had kind of been skewed northward, and so it wasn't as if it were traveling with a front, like going through perpendicular fronts. It was that any sort of hot front and cold front was going in a north-south direction, not an east-west direction. And so, and later that day there was just lots of real wispy formations in the sky, and I have noticed in a lot of fall and winter days that the persistence of contrails is higher because the air temperatures, and I know altitude and other things will play into that, but with this one, from it going just from 0 to huge persistence, staying for multiple hours of the day, and I have footage there of it being there 3 hours later, that's very telling. And so, how can you explain a contrail having 0 persistence up to 3-hour persistence suddenly? And that really can't be explained by an engine shutdown. That can't be explained by changes in air temperatures. To me, what that says also is that, and a lot of people who think about contrails think that's some sort of additive in jet fuels, but that's very telling of some sort of external sprayer. It's the only way I could imagine that being explained. Anyway, yeah, so that's just kind of my conclusions from it. Most of that video was taken facing Thurston Peak, the Wasatch Mountain Range. This is just south of the Weber Canyon. There are some shots of the Weber Mountains or the mountain range north of it. I think it's Ogden Peak. So anyway, if you have any questions, I'll post this on YouTube. You can comment on the video there. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.